My sons, choose this day who you will follow. Are you going to follow the path of your uncle, Azoka, or are you going to follow my path? Okonkwo asked his sons. Okonkwo, a man of wealth, strong, determined, loved life to the fullest. What do you think would have happened to Okonkwo that would have made him lose everything he ever had? Not just losing everything he had, he became a cripple overnight. This is a story of love, betrayal, and knowing who you are. Many years ago, in the beautiful city of Oka, there lived a man named Okonkwo. Okonkwo was just a regular businessman. He had little or nothing to his name. His business was doing okay, but not too well. But he was very contented. He was okay. He was happy. He loved his wife greatly. But gradually, he noticed that his brother Azoka was excelling well. And he asked Azoka, what is that you're doing that I'm not doing? Can you at least show me the way you're doing things in such a way that you're going to excel? Azoka looked at his brother Okonkwo and said, I'm not doing anything too special. I'm just trying to make sure my business succeed. All I have to do is to give offering in the right altar. Okonkwo looked at his brother Azoka and said, which altar? Is it not the same church we attend? I also give offering in the church. So why is your own offering being accepted and mine is not accepted? Azoka laughed out loud and said, Okonkwo, so you're still here thinking that everybody has one altar. I have two, and I advise you to have the same. It does not harm in any way. All you have to do is little sacrifices. And Okonkwo asked his brother to please take him to this altar that is giving him a quick response. Without hesitation, Azoka made an appointment and took his brother to the altar. That fateful Friday evening, he had told his brother to come sleep in his house, that he was going to take him to the altar. Okonkwo woke up in the middle of the night in a thick dark forest with men on white overall standing in front of a sacred altar, responding to a man on a very red thick overall. Okonkwo he didn't understand. He was trying to understand what was going on. Okonkwo tapped his brother while they were sitting down and asked, what is going on here? Azoka laughed and said, don't worry. All you have to do is to pick something that you're going to do. It's either you make offering or words. It's not a difficult thing. Stop being afraid. If God does not come true for you, you look for another way. Or do you want to keep begging all the days of your life? Okonkwo looked at his brother. He hoped deep down that he does not pick something too painful for him to do. He was already there and he was already desperate. He was expecting his first child and barely even had enough to pay for hospital bill. So this was the only way out. And the newcomers were called for by the leader of the altar. His name was Amechi. Amechi called for the new members. And when they came forth, he had asked each and every one of them if they were willing to sell their souls. Okonkwo wasn't willing, but he just responded, yes, master. And after Amechi had read out the rules and regulations governing the brotherhood, he had told each and every one of them to slit their hands. And they cut a part of their hand and poured it into a calabash. And he poured it in the middle of this secret altar. After which, he gave them a bowl and asked them to drink of it. When they looked inside, this bowl was empty. But the moment they put their mouth to drink, liquid entered into their mouths. And they knew that what they were seeing was more than what they knew. Okonkwo was scared, but he stood his ground. Each one of the new members picked something that they were going to always do, ranging from sleeping with mad women, eating their feces, sleeping with dog, different things, as everyone picks their own thing to do. Okonkwo kept on pleading that he did not want something too difficult, something that won't warrant him shedding blood. And when it got to his turn, lo and behold, all Okonkwo needed to do was to be a free giver. Okonkwo was happy. He was instructed to keep on giving in large quantity. To every soul he gave money to, he was getting wealthier. He kept on giving and giving and giving. Not just that, Amaechi had instructed him to build houses. These are another way to get more wealth. Okonkwo was trying to understand. Amaechi said, your houses will keep on giving you more food than what you expect. Okonkwo thanked his brother the moment he sat down. And from the next day, Okonkwo started being a free giver. Even if he had 1,000, he would give it to the poor, the needy. He kept on giving. And the more he gave, the more that came. The more he gave, the more that came. His wife Adaeze was glad. She felt deep down that God had finally answered their prayers. She was happy. Adaeze had brought forth her child into a stable home. They had enough and more than enough. And with the passing days, with the days turning into months and months into years, Okonkwo had given birth to a total of 3 boys and 1 girl. He named his sons and daughters according to the Bible, something that meant something good. He named the first son Anthony, named the second one Prosper, and named the third one Manasseh. And he named his daughter Neera. He picked verses from the Bible. When people call them outside, they just tell themselves that this family is a godly family. Have you heard their name? Anthony, Prosper, Manasseh, and Neera. People wanted to be like them. People admired them. And trust Okonkwo, he was a philanthropist, always donating chunks of money in church. But no one knew the altar he had at home. No one knew what he was doing behind closed doors. Until one fateful day, his wife had a terrible dream. In this dream, she was being chased by an animal. This animal had various heads. And she knew it wasn't just an ordinary dream. She stood up and started praying. Praying and praying and praying and praying. She had never had such a dream before. All her life that she had lived with Okonkwo, she had always had peaceful dreams. But it felt that day God was calling her for a reason. Adaeze jumped up and started anointing all the parts of her house. And when she got to a particular room and anointed the room, she noticed the strange smell that came out from that room. And that room was the only room that was locked in the whole house. She had asked her husband to give her the key to that room, that she needed to anoint inside that room. Okonkwo gave her the key. There was nothing to hide. He was not harboring any dead person. She anointed this room, but this room felt like a different place because Okonkwo keeps money in that room, the money he shares to the poor, to the needy. And whenever he goes for meeting and come back, there was this substance he was given that he applies on this money. So she felt a different way. She felt something was strange. Adaeze kept on praying and praying. And that same Friday evening, when Okonkwo had gone for his brotherhood meeting, he was strongly warned by Amaechi to go and warn his wife that she is disturbing this altar. And if she continues, Okonkwo was going to lose everything. Okonkwo went back and pleaded with his wife to stop. That the dreams will always come. That she should just say her prayer and forget about it. Adaeze looked at her husband and said, Okonkwo, is there something you're not telling me? You're a very strong Christian, and whenever I share my dreams with you, you encourage me to pray. So why are you telling me not to pray about it? I told you that I dreamt that a very dangerous animal with more than 4 heads were chasing me, and you're telling me not to worry? Okonkwo, I have to pray. I will do a strong deliverance for 5 to 7 days. You don't expect me to just sleep off like that. Adaeze continued and continued and continued, and one day, Okonkwo had gone for this meeting. And Amaechi told him that Adaeze had done more harm than good to him. And the only way was to sacrifice a sacred blood to fortify her hands. Okonkwo asked, what kind of blood? Is it the blood of a cow? Is it the blood of a goat? What is that blood I need to bring? Amaechi laughed loud. Ha, 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 ha. The sacred blood I'm talking of is the blood of your first son, Anthony. Amaechi said, no, I can't. I won't. I will never. Amaechi laughed. Ha, 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 ha. Do you know what is going to happen to you if you fail to do so? Okonkwo looked at Amaechi and said, Master, I can't bring the blood of my first son because I did not pick anything that warranted blood. Amaechi laughed and said, so do you think the money that has been coming your way, how do you think it has been happening? How come no one in your buildings ever give birth? How come no one in your building ever celebrate the birth of a new child? As if you did not even understand what you've done and what your wife has done. Okonkwo went back that night. He made up his mind that he was not going to sacrifice anybody. He never knew that his building was the reason why they were not giving birth. He was okay with that. He was not even bothered. He was given 3 days to bring Anthony's precious item in order to kill him. Okonkwo refused. In fact, he did not even go for the meeting. And after 3 days, like magic, Okonkwo woke up and everything was gone. His building, his estates, his cars, everything apart from the building where he and his family were living in. Not just that, he could not stand up from the bed. He cried and called forth his wife Adaeze. Adaeze prayed, Adaeze cried, Adaeze lamented. Okonkwo was already crippled. And that was when she remembered her dream again. And she kept on praying and praying and praying. But nothing could be done. He had already refused to bring his son. So the devil took back the money and his legs. Okonkwo was satisfied. He could not even tell his wife what had happened. He was so satisfied with being poor that he managed every day of his life. He was on a wheelchair, but he goes to work every day. He tried to make sure that there was food at home. He had learned his lesson and learned it in a hard way. But with the passing days, the boys had already grown up in a very comfortable home. And all of a sudden, everything went down the drain. And not just that everything had gone down the drain, but the fact that they started eating like poor people. They barely had meats in their food. The soup was always watery. Things were being annoyingly difficult for them. Whenever they return for Xmas, they notice how Uncle Azoka and his kids were flaunting things, cars, new items every time. Okonkwo had warned his sons and daughters to be very careful, that the days are evil, that the world is more than what you see with your physical eyes. But Prosper, his second son, did not even listen to all those gibberish his father was saying. Prosper was really used to living the big life. His father always had money, so what happened? When they had gone to university, Anthony tried, Anthony managed, Anthony struggled and tried to excel as a medical doctor. Prosper did not want to. He kept on lamenting and complaining. Every little thing his father did was not enough for him. That day he had told his father, Papa, I'll go and stay with Uncle Azoka. I don't want to stay here again. Moreover, he's our uncle and he's always willing to help. But whenever he comes around, you will refuse his money. Papa, I don't want. When he got fed up of Prosper's continuous demand and continuous laments, he called his sons and daughter and asked them, my sons, choose this day who you will follow. Are you going to follow the path of your uncle, Azoka, or are you going to follow my path? Okonkwo asked his sons. And Prosper looked at his father and said, Papa, I am tired of suffering. I am tired of managing. I am tired of taking water soup in the name of normal soup. Papa, I am following the path of Uncle Azoka. But other ones were a bit skeptical while they looked at their father, not knowing the paths to choose. Anthony looked at his father. He could see through his father that his father was being serious. Anthony said, Papa, I'll wait on God. Prosper quickly shifted to the other side and said, I'm going to go and stay with Uncle Asoka. Manasseh was in between. He was neither hot nor cold. He was willing to go stay with Uncle Asoka, being that he was going to live a comfortable life, at least eat regular food the way it should be and not so gary. Mira was a father's girl. She refused. She was willing to stay with her dad. So Prosper carried his bag and left. As the kids grew up, Anthony finished from medical school. He excelled, got a very good space for internship, finished his internship, did his residency. He was excelling gradually because he learned how to pray. He learned how to fight his battle himself. And it didn't take long. Things started moving well for Anthony. Even when he tried to send his parents money, they often told him not to bother. He should try to start up life for himself. He wasn't getting too young. Prosper was gradually beginning to build wealth. At a very young age, build wealth. Acquire lots of things. For Prosper, he had joined the brotherhood like Uncle Asoka. His own offering wasn't that much. All he needed to do was to sleep with different ladies and bring their underwear to the altar. So Prosper was doing it and doing it well until one fateful day, he had slept with a wrong lady, a lady from a very strong altar too. And like usual, Amachi had told him the only way was to bring the underwear of his wife. Prosper refused. He told himself no. He loved his wife Chioma very well, so how can he bring her own underwear knowing fully well what was going to happen to her? So what was the essence of all this? Now he understood what his father was warning him against. Prosper kept on looking for ways to boycott it without bringing the underwear of Chioma. But there was no way out. Truth be told, 2 days to when Prosper was to get his punishment, Manasseh was really thinking of going to go and meet Uncle Asoka to know if there was a way out. But the very night he had decided that he was going to go and meet Uncle Asoka, the next day, he had woken up to his mad brother in front of his gates. Manasseh was confused. He asked his brother, what happened? What is going on? But Prosper could not say anything now. Not just that Prosper was mad, his wife, Chioma, was heavily pregnant and was bleeding profusely. Prosper had lost everything within a twinkle of an eye. His mom ran out and started praying for both of them. She prayed fervently. She knew now what was going on as Okonkwo finally confessed to his wife, Adaeze. She was really angry with him, but had to understand the situation. All she needed to do was to save her son, who had gone astray. They prayed and prayed and prayed. They prayed like no other. They prayed and prayed. They had to chain Prosper in a different room and kept on praying. For Chioma, she recovered, but she lost the baby. But for Prosper, it took a while. It took a while. Serious prayer and fasting Adaeze embarked on. A fasting of 21 days, a mother in pain. She kept on praying for her son. And finally, Prosper regained himself. And that was when Manasseh knew that there was no need to chase wealth the wrong way. Okonkwo had sat his sons down and warned them again and again. Shortcut will cut you short. It is better you wait on God and do things the right way. Something I never told you people was that I once joined Asoka on this and I lost my ability to walk. He's lucky. He has always done his own the right way and it is favoring him. That does not mean it will favor us too. The truth there is that if you're a child of God, wait patiently on God. Are you not seeing your brother Anthony? Anthony now is a renowned doctor. Everyone knows him. Things are going well for him. He's yet to marry. But you Prosper because you think you've made money. At a young age of 25, you went to get married. So now you've learned your lesson. Chioma has forgiven you and has accepted to be with you. You have to work together to build your home. For Naira, I hope you're learning your lesson. Be very careful of the man you marry. Don't go and get married to someone you know nothing about. Don't go sleeping around for money. No matter what we have, we'll make sure we provide for you. Be very, very careful. And all the children said, yes, Papa, yes, Mama, and they departed. The story ends with Anthony getting married to a very beautiful lady named Ozioma. Ozioma was also doing well in her own line of work. The family always coming back together to pray. Anthony, who was the wealthiest, built a very big duplex for his father. His brothers and sisters were also in this compound, staying with their father. Everyone learned how to climb the step one after the other without wanting to jump higher than another. Thank you very much for listening to this beautiful story of the day. We still remain your favorite storyteller, Zika. Please, I would like you to share what you've learned from this. This story is just out there to encourage people. A lot of people want quick way to make money. A lot of people want the fastest way to make money. A lot of people think that making money faster and living a shorter life is better than suffering all their days on earth. No matter what your opinion about money is, I want you to know that it is even better to die a Christian than to die an unbeliever. An unbeliever with no hope of a better future. Let us always walk in the path of righteousness. Let us always wait and hope on God, for His mercies are new every day. I'm so grateful that Adezi, Okonkwo's wife, was a strong believer. She was able to deliver her son and deliver her home. Please and please, do not forget to share our stories to your loved ones. Please, we encourage you to watch each story to the very end. Please like, subscribe, comment. So we'll see you again in our next story. Bye for now.